This review was made possible by contributions from viewers like you.
Hey guys, last couple of Februaries we've been talking about Barbie movies, romance, that kind of girly stuff. But for this time around, we're going to talk about girl power. And what better way to kick things off than with a movie starring Xena, Warrior Princess. Today we're looking at Hercules and Xena, the battle for Mount Olympus. I need to apologize right off the bat if I point out any inconsistencies or ask questions that might be answered in either character's respective TV shows, since I never really watched them when they were on.
Why do I date you?
Because you appreciate nice guys and think I have a cute butt?
Okay, maybe so. But you can't bring that up if we're talking about girl power.
I'll do my best. Anyway, our movie begins with one of the most lackluster titles ever committed to film. For the record, the opening titles of Hercules and Xena looked like this. If you're gonna put these epic heroes together in a movie like this, it deserves a little extra oomph. You open on a little backstory, given to us from... a pot of slee stacks? And they are slee stacked. Actually, they're supposed to be the sirens, I think, as they sing to us the story of how Zeus imprisoned the Titans at the dawn of history. I can't help but feel that this backstory is a little familiar.
And then along came Zeus. He hurled his thunderbolt. He's out. Locked those suckers in a vault. They're trapped. And on his own stopped chaos in its tracks.
Now, you could make the argument that they're just retelling ancient Greek mythology, but this movie came out only 6 months after Disney's Hercules. Nobody stopped to think that maybe they should tell a different story than this?
Come with me, I'll cross the sea of time.
Oh wow, you're awfully pleased with yourself, aren't you? They continue to sing about Hercules' origins, while playing the boob whistle, and they do not sing about the origins of Xena. I think a little explanation of how someone could be powerful enough to stand alongside a super strong demigod might be useful, but hey, I'm no screenwriter. The story proper begins with Hercules, voiced by Kevin Sorbo, fighting some sea monster, where we see he's able to rip off other heroes in a single bound. He kills the monster by making it change its color several times, and crawling through its nose when you'd think he'd be lodged in its chin after the final blow.
Space is warped and time is bendable.
Oh yeah. I just used that clip 7 minutes into the movie. We're gonna be in for quite a ride. So Hercules saves the Bubs tribe, then runs into a band of random goons. Wait, what? Goons that look kind of badass and intimidating? This isn't Hercules.
Hey, don't rag on the show. Go ahead and trash the movie for its animation and things like that, but you do not touch this canon.
Someone's fangirl is showing.
Shut your face.
We then jump over to Xena and Gabrielle in a nearby tavern, played respectively by Lucy Lawless and Renee O'Connor, getting hit on by a couple of satyrs.
Why don't you and your little friend give yourselves a thrill?
Thanks, don't mind if we do.
Well, this just got interesting. She proceeds to kick their asses because no means no.
Bravo!
Ares.
Ah, Xena, I love watching you work.
Thanks, but the mighty god of war doesn't come down from Mount Olympus to a dive like this just to see the floor show.
Most gods would prefer hanging out in actual backgrounds. I know this movie was direct-to-video, so it's not going to have the biggest budget to play with, but this was the same studio that brought us the Land Before Time sequels, which I praised in particular for appearing as though to never having used the same backgrounds twice. Was this really the best they could do? By the way, as the opening credits were rolling earlier, I was confused by the casting choice of Kevin Smith to play Ares. Kevin Smith? Really? Was the guy who played Ares on the show unavailable? But it turns out that that actor just also happens to be named Kevin Smith. Isn't that a weird coincidence? Anyway, he tells Xena that Hercules is wandering into a trap, and only she can help him. She thinks it's a trap and tells him to piss off, and then, whoa, Xena and Gabrielle transported to Endor. Okay, let's just pause for a minute and really think about what we're looking at here. You've had a full day of pillaging or farming the land, and you want to grab yourself a drink and relax at the local tavern. Who's gonna want to climb a tree to do that? This is the first real background in the movie that doesn't look like a piece of crap that was made in 5 minutes or less, and it doesn't make a damn bit of sense. We then cut to Hercules plowing his mom's field.
Man, I thought I had problems.
When Zeus descends from Mount Olympus and steals her away. Oh god. We're gonna find out that his mom's name is Martha, aren't we? Hercules starts his way up Olympus to get his mother back, when they run into Aphrodite. Isn't that just like Aphrodite? Always showing off how she can work a clam.
That is not Aphrodite. She never did anything like that on the show.
Oh, my baby's a nerd. I love you. She warns Hercules that Zeus is making off with his mom, who he's keeping in a scale model of Agrabah, has pissed off Hera even more than usual. She steals a giant chunk of kryptonite, which causes an earthquake, maybe.
You mortals might have to put up with these natural disasters, but I don't. Toodles.
Oh no, the cliff grabbed me! While Hercules focuses on saving the day by turning into a Rob Liefeld drawing, Xena takes care of some looters.
Back off, lowlifes.
Make us.
If I must.
I'll just roll up these sleeves I don't have. Their fight is interrupted by a boulder that got lost on its way to the Raiders of the Lost Ark set, which she's able to stop thanks to the magic of
Physics!
And I know that these characters are very stylized in this movie, but why does this guy look like his nose was glued on? But as the dust starts to settle, they get attacked by... Groot?
Let me pass in peace, little man. My quarrel is not with mortals, but with the gods who imprisoned me beneath the earth.
If I let you pass, you pledge to leave the mortal world alone and take your fight to Mount Olympus.
Dude, I literally just said that. Weren't you listening?
Not exactly the sharpest knife in the drawer, is he?
You pledge to leave the mortal world alone and take your fight to Mount Olympus.
Wait, why are you objecting? You said you had no quarrel with mortals. Herc just wanted to confirm that point. Do you just rail against any kind of authority? You dare agree with my motives!
You have my word.
Go.
Thank you, tiny hamster man.
Who's Mr. Big?
He's a Titan.
A Titan?
Yes, he's a Titan. Tremble with fear as we dissolve to the next scene. Huh. And then the other Titans just start showing up. Weren't these guys supposed to be imprisoned or something? And again, this movie was made right on the heels of Disney's Hercules. If the battle for Mount Olympus must be waged, couldn't it be the army of some crazy warlord who somehow gained the kind of power that would rival the gods? Why did it have to be the Titans?
Where did these Titans even come from? These aren't the same Titans from the TV show.
Right. Aren't the Titans of Greek mythology just supposed to be lumbering giants?
The Titans of the TV shows had some powers that made them like lesser gods, but for the most part, yeah.
Brilliant. It's bad enough they're ripping off Disney's story, they gotta rip off their characters too. So yeah, the Titans escape from their not prison to become the Fantastic Four, and Zeus meets with his kids to assess the situation.
Do you think they'll come here?
Of course they'll come here. They want revenge.
But we will beat them, right?
The source of our power is the Cronus Stone, which we won from them many years ago, and with which we could easily defeat them again. But, as you can see, the Cronus Stone is gone.
So, Zeus defeats the Titans and wins some kind of a magical doodah, and only with said magical doodah and the aid of several more gods this time around can he hope to defeat the Titans again. Huh?
They got lost on their way to a logical conclusion.
Aphrodite slides down her clan because she needs her brother.
Thanks, bro.
Wow, Hercules looks utterly confused by, well, everything, I guess. Aeolus, tell me about the rabbits again. While she fails at convincing Hercules to help them fight the Titans, Ares and Artemis try to meet Xena to help them, and as leverage, Artemis turns Gabrielle into a giant eagle. Because that's the kind of thing that the gods of war and the hunt would do. Xena swears that she'll get Gabrielle back to normal somehow, then she immediately hops on and starts riding her. Behold, as fanfics from around the world come to life! So they go for a test flight, and...
I'm starting to think this wasn't such a good idea!
No, of course they make it, even though Gabrielle's got no idea what she's doing. Clouds gather ominously around the cloud-covered Olympus as the gods prepare for battle. I'm off to fight in the Crusades. I'll harm you. And our lineup ends with Artemis, goddess of Girl Scouts. Let's sell those Thin Mints, girls! Or maybe she's the goddess of Peter Pan cosplayers, who knows. Xena and Gabby crash the party, and Artemis says she'll change Gabrielle back to normal if Xena fights for them. Herc and Aeolus show up just as the Titans arrive, and battle is waged. Okay, 1. I would think that the goddess of the hunt would look a little less awkward firing a bow. 2. Why do her arrows sound like TIE fighters? 3. They just melt in the presence of fire? I thought they'd be made of sterner stuff. Oh no! Aphrodite's gonna drown! If only she could teleport! Ugh. Conqueror of Mount Olympus, ladies and gentlemen. The only thing missing from this scene is him holding a sign that says, "Ouch!"
Baby, that's what I like.
So she takes Zeus's rod, absorbs it into her body, and says, "Ooh, baby, that's what I like."
I know, these writers have all the subtlety of a sledgehammer to the face. Hercules shows up and goes off to rescue his mother instead of lending a hand with the Titans. The god of war has a sword and he's walking up next to a giant foot. Isn't there a very famous Greek fable about someone having a very particular weakness? An Achilles heel, if you will?
I never thought I'd see you help me out of a tangle.
It looks like you're having a bad hair day.
Oh wait, my mistake. He's not the god of war, he's the god of bad puns. Oh come on, you're the friggin' Titans! Suck it up! For some reason, the combined strength of the gods aren't enough to take on the Titans when one god was enough to stop them eons ago, and the gods retreat, as do Xena and Aeolus, thanks to the Lord of the Rings Ex Machina. They all meet up at a kindergarten painting of the home of Hercules' mother, and apparently Hera turned all the gods into animals.
Hey, lady! Let me in!
Ares?
Just watch it. Don't make me mad.
To every fan of this franchise, I deeply apologize for this embarrassment.
Which one of you animals is Artemis?
That would be me.
And I can see right up your skirt. Hercumommy is pissed by everything that's happened because she didn't even want to be rescued in the first place. She explains that she's dying when Zeus appeared and offered to make her immortal by taking her to Olympus, which I guess is now flying the flag of Turkey. And why couldn't she explain this to Hercules before Zeus came to get her? Was it impossible for her to reschedule this meeting of theirs for some reason? We cut back to Xena and the animals, where Artemis explains that, as a bunny, she can't change Gabrielle back, or themselves for that matter. Zeus says that they need the kryptonite to change them back and reclaim Olympus, to which we cut back, where, surprise surprise, the Titans are destroying everything! Didn't really think this plan through, did you, Hera?
We're the Titans. We're the best.
Oh god, no. We're 53 minutes into the movie! You can't just make it a musical now!
We're the Titans. We are strong. We knew that we could beat them all along.
Because you're the Titans and you got Team Spirit! Seriously, are they singing this at a pep rally somewhere?
We're the Titans. We are strong. Boom, shaka, laka, laka, boom, shaka, laka, laka, boom, boom.
At this point, I would like to invite you all to join me in reciting the catchphrase of one Norman Krasner, which Riff Tracks describes as sounding like a sack of sadness slowly deflating. On 3. 1, 2, 3.
I can't even hear myself gloat. Just look at this place. It's a disaster.
Are you seriously trying to shame the Titans for making a mess? That's why Zeus imprisoned them in the first place, you moron! Sure, have the Titans chuckling like Beavis and Butthead. I'm honestly surprised we don't have the Fire Titan there saying, "Fire! Fire! Ah!" But hey, the Titans aren't the only ones with a song to sing. Time to check in on Xena, woman of action, singing about how lost she is about her situation.
I don't know what to do. I went and let the bad guys win. Look what they did to you. I thought I was a warrior. Still, I failed somehow. So tell me, what do I do now? Hear me, silver sister moon, shining in the gloom. Had I wings to fly away, I would fly to you. But that's not what warriors do.
No, that's just not what Xena does. Don't misunderstand me, this is a nice song. I like discovering that Lucy Lawless has a nice singing voice, and I'll be first in line for any character at their lowest point before they attain their arc, but Xena, warrior princess, being unsure of herself is just wrong. She and Hercules both apologize to each other, since apologizing for doing absolutely nothing is totally what Xena does, and they resolve to reclaim Olympus together.
Well, coming back to play, are we? Let's make things a bit more interesting this time, and teach these buffoons a lesson.
Hera decides to give superpowers to the already unstoppable Titans.
You magnificent bastard, I read your book!
Which for some reason Groot objects to.
Now Hercules and his little friends won't stand a chance.
Give me the stone! I want better superpowers! You turned me into a tree? Who does that?
He takes the kryptonite for himself and imprisons Hera, when... Oh yeah, we forgot that Xena's coming.
Sure was nice of her to call ahead.
Okay, Hercules, he's fine. Xena, maybe. Aeolus? He's a puddle of goop and bone fragments.
Is it just me, or have these guys gotten even uglier?
With this animation, how can you tell? So the final battle begins, and for some reason the Fire Lady is the same size as Aeolus because I guess she wanted to play fair? And Hercules somehow gets the idea to break the kryptonite, which easily fell out of Groot's head. What was the point of him doing that if it was just going to fall out as easy as that? Which in turn somehow makes their prison reappear.
Throw them over the side!
Okay, super strong demigod, I'll get right on that with my mortal strength! And somehow Xena pulls this off.
Have this fixed.
She knocks down the other Titan somehow, while Hercules dukes it out with Groot.
Hey, he's not supposed to do that. He didn't have Green Lantern-y powers before he got that rock stuck in his head, but now the rock's gone, so how is he doing that?
Great continuity!
Xena deduces that the Earth is the source of Groot's power, so she jumps Gabrielle's hollow bones and takes him for a ride. Let's pause here and really study this image so we can get a sense of scale for these characters. The even bigger Titan has lost a few dozen feet, Xena and Aeolus have shrunk to about half their original size, and Hercules is even smaller as well, and can now fit in the palm of Xena's hand. These animators are inventing new ways to fail! Hercules drops Groot like a sack of potatoes, and since Groot grabbed Hercules with his face earlier, guess what he grabs Gabrielle with? Herc manages to rip Groot from Gabby's leg, while sprouting a few more chest hairs in the process, since co-starring with a warrior princess means that the day can only be won with excessive manliness. He puts the kryptonite back together, which imprisons the Titans again. How did he know that would happen? The gods return to their true forms. Artemis turns Gabrielle back after she and Xena exchange a few awkward grunts. Everyone seems to ignore the giant amoeba that's awaiting to devour Hercumami's house, and she goes up to live with Zeus on Olympus, where she'll spend eternity as an immortal.
Son, you know you're always welcome at my,
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, try to make this a sad moment all you want movie, but I'm not buying it. Zeus just said that Hercules is always welcome. There's nothing that's physically preventing him from visiting Olympus, so what's keeping Hercules from seeing his mother whenever he wants?
So, where are you headed?
Corinth, I still have a bag of gold to return.
Maybe we could walk along with you for a while.
Sure.
If the softcore porn soundtrack is any indication, this trip is going to be awesome! And thus the story ends with our band of heroes going forth to adventures unknown. So that was Hercules and Xena, the battle for Mount Olympus, and as the Greeks say, ine tromero. I'm glad I'm not a fan of Hercules or Xena, because if I was, I'd be frickin' pissed at this movie. The animation's unforgivably atrocious. The story is just a blatant rip-off of the Disney movie. The songs are sporadic, forgettable, and completely out of place. The action is choppy and slipshod, and Xena barely does anything in this movie. Sure, someone with the strength of a god is pretty damn impressive, and the camera's gonna want to get as much of what he can do as possible, but when the title of the movie is Hercules and Xena, the movie needs to be tailored so that not only does she get as much screen time as her demigod co-star, but it also needs to showcase what she can do without any supernatural abilities. You know how too many writers will show off their bat boners by making Batman more powerful than every member of the Justice League, just by virtue of him being Batman? It's like this movie's the opposite of that, and it just kinda looks like they stuck Xena in as an afterthought. She deserved a lot better than this. All I can say is that one of the most popular female badasses in pop culture history gets shafted like this. I am not looking forward to the rest of this month. See you later.
If there's a prize for rotten judgment, I guess I've already won that. No man is worth the aggravation. That's ancient history, been there, done that.
Who'd you think you're kidding? He's the earth and heaven to you. Try to keep it hidden. Honey, we can see right through you. Girl, you can't conceal it. We know how you're feeling, who you're thinking of.
Oh, no chance, no way, I won't say it, no, no.
You swoon, you sigh, why deny it? Uh-oh.
It's still cliche, I won't say I'm in love. I thought my heart had learned its lesson. It feels so good when you start out. My head is screaming, get a grip, girl. Unless you're dying to cry your heart out.
You keep on denying who you are and how you're feeling, baby. We're not buying. Hun, we saw you in the theater, facing like a grown-up. When you're gonna own up that you got it back.
Oh, no chance, no way, I won't say it, no, no.
Give up or give in. Check the green, you're in love.
This scene won't play, I won't say I'm in love.
You're doing lips, read our lips, you're in love.
You're way off base, I won't say it. Get off my case, I won't say it.
Girl, don't be proud, it's okay, you're in love.
Oh, at least out loud, I won't say I'm in love.
I am the right cornholio! I need TP for my bunghole! Hey guys, I've got a package here from a Gabrielle Leonard from Aliquippa, Pennsylvania. I think I said that right. Aliquippa? I don't know. But let's see what she's got for us here. I'll take to hell, I love it.
She wanted to make sure it didn't escape. She wanted to make sure it didn't escape.
Oh, yes. We have bubble wrap.
Huge bubble wrap. I miss little bubble wrap.
Me too. Let's see. We've got a letter here which says, "Read me." I wasn't going to, but okay, since you insist. This letter reads, from Gabs. Dear Bob Show and Raven.
Hi, Gabs.
I've been a fan of your show since I was about 16 or 17 years old. Ever since your Tentaclito review, I've been coming back whenever I can. I do remember I would have a suggestion for you. There was a cartoon created back in 1985 called Mask, Mobile Armored Strike Command. And of course, command is spelled with a K, because poor literacy is cool. By DC and Kenner. Yes, command is spelled with a K before the 90s, and Mortal Kombat in general. The show's premise is about a group of crime fighters with superpowered masks and transforming vehicles battling against an international criminal organization called Venom. Vicious, evil network of mayhem. That also uses their own super-powered masks and transforming vehicles. From the premise alone, it's obvious that Kenner took two of the most popular things of the 80s, Transformers and G.I. Joe, and mixed them together. Sorry, the only robot you'll see in this cartoon is T-Bob. Okay. He's supposed
to... Hey, 1985 was a good year.
This is true. He is supposed to be the comic relief character. Oh, of course. The cartoon only lasted for 2 seasons with 75 episodes. Hey, still, that's a long time. Let's see, with a toy line, comic books, and games. I'm surprised that Mask has video games at all. Yeah, me too. In the US, DC Comics made 2 miniseries and an ongoing series. Then in 2016, IDW made a reboot of the series with a one-shot and then a 10-issue ongoing in the UK. Then 10 issues ongoing. In the UK, Fleetway Eagle magazine created 80 issues of short stories of these guys. You can find all 75 episodes free on YouTube, but there is Shout Factory's release of the show. The problem here is that they could only get the license for the first 65 episodes. The other 10 are owned by someone else. That's gotta be frustrating and confusing. Whatever you do, I think there's some good material to work with. If you don't want to review it, that's fine. Mask can test your patience if you watch it for too long. Come on, I sat through all 8 Alpha and Omega movies. I have the patience of a saint.
And all 7 Swan Princess movies.
Yes. Moving on. I also did back up a DVD and a couple of comic books for you, too. The box might like what I picked out. I'm sure it will. Either way, I hope you and Raven have a happy new year, and take care. P.S. I drew a couple of the characters from Mask for you guys. Enjoy! Well, thank you very much. Let's see, put that into the envelope here, and let's see what we got. We have Dreamwave's Transformers number 3, featuring the Insecticons on the cover doing generic poses while reaching for the sky, I think. I don't know. And we also have Free Comic Book Days, The Tick Spoon!
You need to put that aside for next Free Comic Book Month.
I should.
You should.
As it takes a nosedive. Oh no. And we have Dolph Lundgren as He-Man of Masters of the Universe.
I haven't seen that movie in forever. I will watch it with you again. He-Man and She-Ra were my favorite cartoons when I was little.
Yeah, He-Man was so big back in its day. Why didn't they call this movie He-Man? I mean, sure, Masters of the Universe, that's fine, but really? It's like selling a movie called Robots in Disguise, but leaving out Transformers! Why do you do that?
Who knows? Doesn't matter. It's amazing.
Yes. And let's see some of this artwork that's included here. Whoa, big pictures. Let's see, we have Sly... I'm sorry, I can't read that. Is that a K and X, a T? Slyrax? I don't know.
I can't see because of the glare. I think Slyrax.
Slyrax? Yeah.
Yeah.
somehow my favorite character talks like Jack Nicholson. Oh, well, there you go. Has a motorcycle with a sidecar called Piranha. He's a Venom agent. Oh no! Either sounds bored or tired. He's the second favorite. The first would go to Floyd Malloy.
Why is it the bad guys are always cool?
Because they're the bad guys. Dusty Hayes. He is a southerner guy who owns a small pizza business with delivery. Mask agent, so good guy. Has a Jeep that's also a speedboat. Kind of. It's called Gator. Let's see, here's a head portrait. 1 speedboat launches out, 2, the rest is left behind. How Gator works. So I guess this Jeep just kind of spits out a speedboat?
Nice artwork.
Very nice. Yeah, very reminiscent of the animation style that was popular in the 80s. Very cool. Yes, I'm definitely going to have to check out Mask when, again, I somehow find myself some free time.
Don't worry, I'll end up making him do it as a theme month.
Oh, Lord. But thank you very much for that, Gabs. And if anyone else has anything that they'd like to send me, fan mail, packages, whatever, go ahead and ship it to the PO box in the corner, and I'll see you later.
Subscribe, like, follow.